How are Irish myths and legends passed down through generations? If you're curious about how Irish myths and legends have been kept alive for so long, you're about to uncover a rich and fascinating history. Let's explore how these stories have been passed down through the generations. Irish myths and legends have a long history of being shared through oral tradition. This means that stories were told and retold by word of mouth, often around firesides or in community gatherings. The tradition of storytelling was so strong that it became the backbone of Irish folklore. At the heart of this tradition were the Seanchaí, or traditional Irish storytellers. These individuals were the custodians of Ireland's folklore, myth, and legend. They would travel from town to town, sharing ancient lore and tales of wisdom with anyone who would listen. The Seanchaí played a crucial role in maintaining the cultural heritage of Ireland, keeping the stories alive and vibrant. These stories were organized into four main cycles: the mythological cycle, the Ulster cycle, the Fenian cycle, and the historical cycle. Each cycle contains unique stories and characters that reflect different aspects of Ireland's past. For example, the mythological cycle tells of the godlike Tuatha De Danann and their struggles, while the Ulster cycle focuses on the hero Cuchulainn and his adventures. The oral tradition was maintained for centuries, partly because Ireland was not invaded in the same way as surrounding countries, allowing the stories to remain intact. Additionally, the Druidic schools wanted to keep these stories in verbal form to ensure they continued to circulate within the culture and public. When Christian scribes arrived in Ireland, they began writing down these stories in Latin. Many of these texts were lost or destroyed during Viking raids, but in the 11th and 12th centuries, the remaining texts were re-recorded in manuscripts. Some of these manuscripts date back to 3 to 4 centuries earlier and were written in the Irish language. The role of women in storytelling was also significant. Legends were often told on a more informal basis, such as in fields, over kitchen tables, or at pubs, and were slightly more likely to be told by women. However, other forms of storytelling like folktales and myths were traditionally the preserve of male Seanchaí. Today, these stories continue to be shared and celebrated. Storytellers like Marianne McShane keep the tradition alive by recounting Celtic legends, myths, and wonder tales at festivals, social events, schools, and libraries. This ongoing tradition ensures that Irish myths and legends remain an integral part of Ireland's cultural heritage. In essence, the combination of oral storytelling, the dedication of Seanchaí, and the eventual written records have all contributed to the enduring legacy of Irish myths and legends. These stories continue to captivate audiences, providing a window into Ireland's rich and storied past.